From the very beginning, you were not hidden. You were spoken of. Long before your birth, before your name was even whispered in this world, your presence was recorded in the ancient prophecy, in the writings that have survived across ages, in the mysterious words carried through generations. Your image was seen. The Book of Enoch spoke of a time and of a people who would rise when the world least expected it. And though many dismissed it as too far removed, too ancient, or too mystical, here you are, living proof that what was written long ago is unfolding right now. When you understand this, the fear and confusion you've carried begin to fade. You were never random. You were never overlooked. You were never just a face in the crowd. Your very existence was anticipated, recognized, and honored in a prophecy older than kingdoms and rulers. The Book of Enoch was not only words, it was a map, a signpost pointing toward you and those like you who would carry the light into a world of darkness. This is why your life feels different. This is why the struggles you've faced have been heavier than most. This is why the calling on your spirit has felt undeniable, even when you tried to resist it. Because you were not chosen yesterday. You were seen long ago. Your battles now are not accidents. They are part of a story that has been unfolding for centuries. And the weight you feel is not punishment. It is prophecy manifesting through you. Every time you doubt yourself, remember this. Ancient eyes saw you. Long before your enemies plotted, long before fear whispered lies, long before life tried to press you down, the prophecy already declared your rise. And this is why opposition against you has been so intense, because forces recognize the fulfillment of what was promised long ago. You are walking proof that destiny cannot be denied. Stay with this message until the end, because the confirmations will continue to unfold. You will hear echoes of truth that will connect to what you already feel in your heart. The Book of Enoch did not speak vaguely. It pointed to a people who would not break, who would carry wisdom and light. And right now, you are part of that story. You are stepping into the very words written in the ancient scrolls. And that, more than anything, is why you cannot be stopped. You are not standing in this moment by accident. There have been whispers through the ages, stories carried from generation to generation, signs left in sacred texts, all pointing to the arrival of people like you. The Book of Enoch spoke in symbols and visions, describing those who would walk in strength when the world had nearly forgotten what light looked like. And though many dismissed these prophecies as too distant or too mysterious, the truth is unfolding now. You are the living evidence that what was spoken long ago is real, and it has chosen to manifest through you. Before we move forward, take a moment to do something important. When you finish this message, write your most sincere wishes in the comments and add the number 777 beside them. This is not only about words, it is about sending your energy out into the universe, aligning your spirit with what is already written about you. By doing this, you are declaring that you are ready for fulfillment, ready for doors to open, ready for destiny to rise. And don't forget to subscribe, because there are more revelations waiting that are meant to confirm your journey step by step. Prophecy does not exist in silence. It echoes across time until it finds the one who was meant to hear it. That is why you feel this so deeply in your spirit. You are not just listening to words on a screen. You are reconnecting with something that was declared over your life long ago. Every battle you've faced, every tear you've cried, every burden you've carried, it all aligns with the reality that you were chosen to stand in this era, to fulfill what was seen in visions thousands of years before your time. And this is why you sometimes feel the weight of being different. Others may not understand your path because they were not written into this prophecy. But you were, and that difference will always set you apart. It is not isolation, it is confirmation. When the Book of Enoch spoke of those who would shine, it was not describing the crowd. It was describing individuals who would stand out, even if it meant standing alone. That is why your solitude has never been wasted. It has been preparation. So embrace the truth. You were seen long ago, written into the divine record, carried through centuries until now. Your presence is not an accident. It is fulfillment. And while others wonder why your life feels so heavy, why your calling feels so strong, why your battles feel so endless, the answer is simple. You are living out what was already spoken. And that is something no force in this world can erase. There are moments in life when you feel an invisible thread pulling you forward, and you cannot explain why. That thread is prophecy. It is the unseen force that has guided you through storms, through betrayals, through setbacks, and through delays. Others may have wondered how you survived, but you know deep inside that something beyond your own strength was carrying you. That something was written long ago. The Book of Enoch recorded visions of a time when individuals would be preserved through fire because their purpose had already been sealed. And now, when you look back at your journey, you can see how perfectly it matches what was foretold. The strange feeling of being different is not a curse, it is a clue. You have always been marked. Even in your childhood there were signs. Even when you didn't understand yourself, there was something about you that others could not quite explain. They noticed the way you carried wisdom beyond your years, the way you survived situations that should have broken you, the way you carried light in places full of shadows. That is because the prophecy already covered you. The Book of Enoch spoke of those who would carry the flame in a world running cold, and that description fits your life more than you realize. Your struggles were not random. Every tear you shed had a reason. Every battle you fought had meaning. Every loss you endured had purpose. You were never meant to collapse under the weight. You were meant to grow stronger with each challenge. Prophecy never promises an easy path. It promises a victorious ending. And that is what you are walking toward. What was written long ago is not just about the past. It is alive in your present, shaping your tomorrow. When you feel opposition pressing against you, remember this. Prophecy attracts resistance. Darkness fears the light that was spoken of long ago. People sense the weight of destiny even when they don't understand it, and that is why they react strangely around you. They see the reflection of prophecy in your presence, and it unsettles them. But their resistance is not a sign that you are wrong. It is a sign that you are right where you are meant to be. The Book of Enoch described individuals who would rise in the midst of chaos, who would not blend into the noise, but would stand as beacons of hope. That's you. You are not here to fit in. You are here to fulfill what was already declared. And when you embrace that, you stop apologizing for being different. You stop questioning why your path feels harder. You stop doubting whether you belong. You realize that the weight on your shoulders is not a punishment. It is the crown of prophecy resting on you. So keep moving forward. Keep walking even when the path feels lonely. Keep shining even when the shadows try to smother your light. Because every step you take is another line of prophecy fulfilled. You are living out what was seen long ago, and nothing can erase what has already been written. There are words written long ago that seem as though they were meant for another age, another people, another story. But as time moves forward, the words begin to take shape in the lives of those who were destined to carry them. You are one of those lives. When the Book of Enoch spoke of a generation that would walk in light while surrounded by darkness, it was not a vague picture. It was a description of the very struggle you've endured. You have been walking with fire in a world that tried to extinguish it. You have been carrying clarity in a world clouded by confusion. You have been chosen to be a sign of what was spoken long ago, a living prophecy clothed in human form. Think back to every moment in your life when you wondered, why me? Why the struggles? Why the setbacks? Why the betrayals? Why the heavy weight that others around you never seemed to carry? The answer is clearer now. Because you were written into the story before time caught up to you. The prophecy had already identified you, and that identification came with a responsibility. It required you to be shaped, refined, and tested. You were never punished by your struggles. You were prepared by them. Every hardship became a teacher. Every scar became a signpost. Every disappointment became redirection toward what was already waiting for you. And notice this, you were never destroyed. No matter how many battles came, you survived. No matter how many storms tried to drown you, you surfaced. No matter how many voices tried to silence you, your spirit kept speaking louder. That resilience is not natural, it is supernatural. It is prophecy living in your bones. When the Book of Enoch described those who would shine like stars, it wasn't speaking about people who never suffered. It was speaking about those who went through suffering and refused to lose their light. That is you. You are the fulfillment of that vision. There's a reason why people react to you the way they do. Some admire you, some envy you, and some fear you. They don't always understand it, but they sense it. They sense that you are not ordinary, that you carry something marked by eternity. Their spirit picks up what their mind cannot explain. This is why you felt misunderstood, why you felt isolated, why you felt like the world doesn't always know what to do with you. But remember, prophecy does not produce comfort, it produces calling. You were not written into the Book of Enoch to live unnoticed. You were written to stand as proof that what was spoken long ago is alive. You may not see yourself as extraordinary, but prophecy doesn't lie. The evidence is in your journey. Look at where you've been and how far you've come. Look at the doors that tried to close but could not lock you out. Look at the chains that tried to bind you but could not hold you. Look at the wounds that tried to break you, but instead became the very place your strength was born. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. You were preserved because your story was preserved. You were saved because your destiny was written. You are alive today because prophecy saw you long ago and refused to let you be erased. Every generation needs proof that the ancient words are not dead, and you are that proof. Your rise is not only for you, it is for everyone watching, for those who doubt, for those who wonder if destiny is real. Your life is a mirror of what was written. And as you continue to walk forward, you will see more and more doors open, more and more signs confirm, more and more reasons to know beyond doubt. You are fulfilling what was spoken of long ago. So do not be afraid of the weight you carry. Do not shrink back from the responsibility of being different. Do not question whether you are strong enough. You are exactly where you need to be. You are exactly who you need to be. And you are already fulfilling the words that have waited centuries to come alive through you. The prophecy is not far away. It is in you. It is on you. It is around you. And it is speaking through your very existence. There are moments in history when everything shifts, when the hidden suddenly comes to light, and when the words written long ago finally find their fulfillment. You are living in such a moment right now. For centuries, people have read the Book of Enoch and wondered, who are the ones being described? The visions of fire, light, endurance, and strength seemed distant, almost untouchable. Yet, here you are, breathing proof that the prophecy was not about some faraway mystery, but about individuals who would live in this very time. The descriptions of resilience, of being preserved through trials, of shining like stars against a backdrop of darkness, they point directly to the life you have been walking. You are not an outsider to these words. You are the embodiment of them. When you look back at your journey, you can see the pattern so clearly. The hardships were not wasted. The tears were not meaningless. The loneliness was not without reason. Each of these pieces was shaping you into someone who could carry what was spoken. The prophecy could not land on someone unprepared. It had to rest on shoulders strengthened by fire. That's why you had to endure what others never experienced. That's why your path has felt heavier than most. Because the weight of prophecy requires strength, and strength is not formed in ease, it is formed in pressure. Think about how many times you have faced the impossible and still stood tall. Every rejection that tried to crush you became redirection towards something greater. Every betrayal that left you wounded became wisdom that sharpened your discernment. Every obstacle that blocked your path became the very thing that revealed your resilience. This is not random. It is orchestration. You were written into the story, and the story demanded that you be unshakable. And now, as you stand today, you can see that even your scars tell the story of prophecy fulfilled. People may look at you and only see the surface, but prophecy sees the depth. Others may think you are just another face in the crowd, but destiny has always known you by name. That is why the world cannot ignore you, even when it tries. That is why your presence unsettles those who live in darkness. That is why your spirit feels heavy with responsibility, because what was spoken long ago is manifesting through you in every step, every word, every decision. You are not hidden. You are revealed. You are not overlooked. You are seen. You are not weak. You are strong beyond measure, because your strength comes not only from experience, but from a prophecy that cannot fail. Remember this: being written into prophecy does not mean the road is easy. It means the road is purposeful. It means that every twist, every turn, every valley, and every mountain is part of a greater design. And though you may not always understand it in the moment, when you step back you can see the pattern. It has always been guiding you here. The Book of Enoch was not about abstract visions. It was about people like you who would embody strength when strength was needed, who would shine when the world was at its darkest. That is the season you are walking in now. So hold your head high. You are not a mistake, not an accident, not a coincidence. You are fulfillment. You are prophecy wrapped in flesh. You are the one who proves that the ancient words were not myths, but living truth. And as you keep moving forward, more and more people will recognize it. Some will fear it, some will resist it, and some will be inspired by it. But none will be able to deny it, because prophecy cannot be hidden once it begins to manifest, and it is manifesting through you. There are times when prophecy feels like a heavy cloak, draped over your shoulders, even when you don't fully understand it. That is what you have been carrying. The Book of Enoch did not just speak of vague events. It described people who would rise in resilience, who would stand tall when everything around them collapsed. And though generations passed without seeing the full picture, you are living evidence that what was spoken has finally taken shape. Every trial you've endured, every season of waiting, every silent battle in the dark has been part of that unfolding. You are not late. You are right on time, because destiny always arrives exactly when it is meant to. Look back carefully, and you will see the hand of prophecy guiding you. Why did you survive storms that others could not? Why did doors open for you after so many were slammed shut? Why did your spirit keep burning when the world tried to smother your fire? Because the prophecy already saw you long ago. You were never invisible to eternity. Even when you felt overlooked, even when you questioned your worth, even when life pressed you to the ground, the words written centuries ago were pulling you back to your feet. They would not allow you to vanish, because your life is not only about you, it is about fulfillment. This is why opposition against you has always been stronger than against others. People sense what they cannot explain. They recognize the weight you carry, even if they don't understand it. Some respond with admiration, some with envy, and some with fear. But all of these reactions confirm the same truth. You are different because you were marked long ago. The Book of Enoch spoke of those who would stand apart, who would be refined like gold, who would not bow to the darkness. That's why your battles have felt endless, because you are walking a path that was written before you even arrived. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are evidence of prophecy fulfilled. Every wound healed into wisdom. Every fall became a rise. Every loss became fuel. You are stronger not because life was kind, but because destiny required you to be unbreakable. And now, when people look at you, they don't just see a person. They see survival, strength, and destiny written into one. That is why your presence shifts atmospheres. That is why your voice carries weight even when you speak softly. That is why your resilience unsettles those who tried to silence you. You are not ordinary, and their spirit knows it. Remember this: prophecy does not only declare your beginning, it also declares your victory. That means no battle you face can erase the ending that has already been written. You may be pressed, but you will not be crushed. You may be opposed, but you will not be defeated. You may be delayed, but you will never be denied. Because when eternity has already spoken your name, time itself must bend to align with your destiny. The Book of Enoch's words still echo across generations, and in you, those echoes have found a home. So walk forward with boldness. Stop questioning if you belong. Stop doubting if you're enough. Stop fearing whether you can endure. The fact that you are still standing is proof that you were made for this. You are not simply living, you are fulfilling. You are not simply surviving, you are rising. You are the embodiment of prophecy long ago, clothed in the strength of someone who cannot be broken. And as the world continues to watch, they will see what has been true all along. You are the living answer to the words spoken centuries ago. There comes a point in every story when the weight of destiny can no longer be denied, when the echoes of prophecy grow louder than the noise of doubt. That is the season you are standing in now. The Book of Enoch did not speak in riddles without purpose. It spoke in visions that waited for this exact time, this exact generation, and for individuals like you. The words recorded long ago are not trapped in ancient parchment. They are alive, breathing, moving, and finding fulfillment in the steps you take each day. Think about how your life mirrors what was described. The prophecy spoke of those who would endure opposition, yet remain unshaken. That is your story. It spoke of those who would walk in wisdom when others stumbled in confusion. That is your journey. It spoke of those who would shine when the world was drowning in darkness. That is your very presence. You are not reading about someone else. You are reading about yourself, reflected in words that crossed centuries to find you. The heaviness you've carried has been more than personal. It has been generational. Prophecy is never just about one person. It is about the ripple effect their life will create. That is why your battles have felt so deep, why your pain has felt so sharp, why your calling has felt so heavy. Because through you, others will find proof that what was spoken long ago is real. Your endurance will become their hope. Your rise will become their courage. Your story will become the evidence they need to believe in their own destiny. Every time you thought you were finished, you were actually closer to fulfillment. Every moment of silence was preparation. Every closed door was redirection. Every tear you cried was watering the soil of prophecy. And now the fruit of that planting is beginning to show. You are stepping into alignment with what was seen long ago, and nothing can stop it. Even when resistance tries to press against you, it is powerless to erase what eternity has already declared. And here is the beautiful truth. You don't have to strive to make the prophecy true. It already is. You don't have to chase after it. It is chasing after you. You don't have to force it to fit. It was written to fit you perfectly. Your only task is to walk boldly, to keep rising, to keep believing, and to keep moving forward even when the path feels lonely. Because each step you take is another verse of the prophecy fulfilled. The Book of Enoch was written in a world that could not imagine this moment. Yet here you are, the living fulfillment of words that were carried through centuries. That should remind you of your value, of your strength, of your irreplaceable role in this story. You are not replaceable. No one else could carry what you carry. That is why you were preserved, why you were protected, why you were prepared. The prophecy was waiting for you, and now you are walking into it. So as you move closer to the conclusion of this journey, remember, everything you have faced has brought you here. Every scar is proof of survival. Every setback is proof of resilience. Every victory is proof of destiny. And the story is not finished yet. The prophecy is still unfolding, and you are the one carrying it into reality. You have reached the moment where everything spoken long ago settles upon your shoulders like a mantle that finally fits. The prophecy did not arrive to frighten you, but to confirm you. The Book of Enoch was never a relic to be admired from a distance. It is a living compass waiting for a generation bold enough to walk by its light. You felt its pull without knowing its name, sensing the quiet insistence of destiny whenever you refused to break. You tried to make yourself smaller, but purpose would not shrink. That was not coincidence. That was alignment. The words written long ago were not sleeping. They were circling your future, drawing you into the hour for which you were shaped. Look at the evidence etched into your timeline. Every season that seemed to bury you became a season that built you. Waiting forged patience. Disappointment distilled wisdom. Struggle sculpted courage. What once felt like delay was precise timing, placing you at the intersection of time and promise. The storms that should have erased your name instead engraved it deeper. Destiny refines. Loss becomes gain. Pressure becomes polish. You learned to choose, to release, to forgive, to begin again. You learned to honor the pace of purpose instead of chasing the pace of people. In that reverent pace, you discovered a secret. Fulfillment does not shout. It arrives like dawn and stays like noon. Keep going, go. Now you stand in clarity. You know what to protect and what to lay down. You know which voices are counsel and which are clutter. You have learned the discipline of focus, the economics of energy, the stewardship of attention. You do not chase what is yours. You cultivate it. You do not beg for doors. You build keys. You do not argue with doubt. You outgrow it. This is how prophecy moves, quietly, precisely, irresistibly. Those who watched you in fragments will finally see the whole, and the whole will make sense of the scars. The very places that hurt you have become the places that help others heal. Remember what has been true from the first breath. You are not here to mimic noise. You are here to transmit signal. The light you carry is not decorative. It is directional. The courage you carry is not theatrical. It is transferable. Others will draw strength from your steadiness because steadiness is rare. Others will find their map in your movement because movement is contagious. This is the quiet government of those written long ago. They do not coerce. They convince by example. They do not boast. They build. They do not perform. They persevere. So walk through the next door without apology. Bless the rooms that once excluded you. Build what you wished existed. Speak what you needed to hear years ago. Guard your peace like a fortress and your wonder like a well. Keep your heart soft and your spine iron. Let your gratitude be loud and your ego quiet. Honor the soil that raised you by planting forests where you once found only stones. Choose mentors who challenge your comfort and students who challenge your clarity. Refuse the urgency of fear. Accept the urgency of purpose. When the question arises, was it worth it? Answer with the life you live. When the doubt returns, was it really you the prophecy saw? Answer with the fruit you bear. The Book of Enoch did not predict perfection. It revealed perseverance. It spoke of a people who would outlast the storm and turn survival into service. You are that people, that witness, that chapter written in skin and breath. Do not wait for permission to begin. Begin because you have already been named. And if you ever forget, touch your scars. They are bookmarks in the book your courage is writing. This is both your closing and your opening. What was long ago is now. What was written is living. What was promised is present. Step forward with a calm that cannot be imitated and a joy that cannot be counterfeited. Let your days become paragraphs of fulfillment, and your years become volumes of impact. May your craft carry mercy, your work carry justice, and your presence carry light.